everybody, and welcome to the Dungeon Gamers Collaboration. My name is Jeffrey Russell Wallace, and welcome to episode 6 of Fell Nightmares. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit longer than the previous episodes, as I wanted to squeeze this town all into one video. There's also going to be a bit of a shopping expedition here, so please grab your shopping bag and enjoy this episode. You will pop in front of a town.
I really wish you would ask before you did that. It's very jarring.
Especially
that's my point.
Suddenly the landscape changes entirely.
Is it dark here too?
Yes.
No, actually, behind you, you can see a storm front that's moving in this direction. But is hours away easily. The town is, let's see, where you're at, the main road. There is this, you can see straight to the center, and far in the distance there's a fountain with some sort of figure, maybe half a mile from where you are. And on either side there are houses, and they kind of wrap around. There are little alleyways that spiral in between. This town is open though. There's no wall that wraps around it. Let's see if there's any individuals out and about.
Where are we?
Outside of a town? I assume Soltorius, the town we were heading towards in the north. I've never been here before. I have no idea.
Maybe 20 people that are kind of out and about. 3 or 4 of them are kind of, much like your vision, walking head up. There's the rest of the people, the 17 others or so, that are all kind of head down, heading in a path or direction wherever they're going about their day. Their pace is a little more hurried than the 3 individuals who are a little bit nose to the air.
Interesting.
Did anyone take notice of our sudden appearance on the road?
No.
Can I, insight check these people?
If you'd like.
So it's just, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be a 22.
Alright.
These are the dice that like 16s.
The people who have their heads down are trying to avoid eye contact with people whose heads are up. But they're also trying to continue their day. They're busy, they're pressed for time, and they are very much trying to avoid these people. They do even give some space. There is one person that's following the people with their heads up. There's a half-orc, a half-elf, and a dwarf. And the half-elf has one person following them with their head down and seems to be addressing them slightly to the side. The people with their heads held up, confident, don't seem to have very much going on or very much to do. They are just enjoying the sunshine.
Are they, are the people with their heads up, dressed nicer and fancier?
A little bit.
Is it like a class thing?
Slightly. You can kind of take it as that. Yeah, it is a little bit like they're dressed up a little more. The 3 of them are in pretty nice robes.
Okay. Now, above table here, I know that we were pretty much just heading in this direction because this was the only direction we knew there was a town in. Is there anything we actually needed to do in this town?
No, it was just the closest place.
Okay.
Maybe see if we could arrange travel up north so we don't have to walk the entire time.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
A riverboat or something.
Boating adventure would be fun. Yeah, let's find a tavern and inn and sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some hot food.
As you're passing through this part of the town, are you addressing anyone? Are you making eye contact?
I don't know,
No.
am I?
Are you looking down? I mean, you do have enough blind sense that as you get close to people, I mean, I don't know, are you looking at them to give them the impression like I'm a normal person, or are you just kind of letting them move past you, keeping your glance up, down?
No, I think when I'm in a new place, I probably play up the blind thing a little bit more than I
Yeah.
need to. So I'm like, yeah, I've got my
Walking with your
stick,
staff.
and
Okay.
Gazing just sort of
I
like
might
into
have my
nowhere.
arm threaded through yours just
Yeah.
to make it look like you're helping me.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. I'll help you play up the blind.
Yeah.
I'm just walking, eyes up,
Okay.
trying to take in the city and
Cool.
your town. I guess is probably a little bit smaller than a big city.
Yeah.
I am looking for an inn
Okay.
and trying not to look suspicious.
Gotcha. Give me an investigation check.
So I am probably, I'm not like,
Any one of you who
I'm not
want
like
to
looking at
look
people,
for an
I'm just
inn.
kind of,
Yeah.
we just randomly appeared on the road and everything's weird. Investigation?
Yeah.
18.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Yeah. It isn't long when you come across an inn. Let me just write this name down so I don't forget it next time, because I will. I come across the Starfall Inn. And the sign itself is literally like craterous rock and a like star symbol that's fallen into it.
The rock's point.
Stepping inside,
Be a rock from space.
That's true.
it's all coming together.
Oh my god.
Figured it out!
You did walk past a dwarf.
That's true.
You guys make your way inside, and there's definitely a weird moment of everyone with their heads kind of down at the table, where they kind of do like a side-eye thing to avoid looking directly at you, and then a little like confusion as they look, and they all start to kind of look up at you and look you up and down, and then realize they don't recognize you and go back to their meals, drinks, or card games. The barkeep actually kind of does the same thing, kind of looks up from the side for a moment, and then looks up. Halfling is standing pretty tall for the size of the bar, so there's either a stool back there or something. But they do kind of walk over towards the edge, still staying at the same level, and hello, welcome. What can I get you?
Hello.
Lean over the bar and just see what's going on back there.
There is a like raised platform that runs all the way across for them to stand on, and then it drops down.
It's like, kind of small for being this tall.
And the bar shelves don't go above the reach, so it's all like these short, like halfway up the wall kind of thing, and then it's just open wall.
I respect that.
So, kind of looks at your monkey for a moment. I
He's
don't
mostly harmless.
know if that
I wouldn't say mostly.
applies. I'm gonna have to ask on that. That's weird. So, what can I help you guys with? Drink? Food?
Yes.
Both?
Both?
You're not from around here, are you?
No.
No.
Ah, that explains it. Alright, he kind of pops down, goes over to the shelf, and like moves the bottle, pulls a book out from underneath it, puts the bottle back down,
Oh, no.
comes up,
No.
opens the book. Alright, so are any of you divine in nature or celestial in blood?
No.
Okay.
The monkey.
I don't.
Well, I mean,
That's
the monkey
obvious,
is-
and I don't know if it counts, so I'm gonna read over something here real quick. But
For patronage?
Kind of divine in nature.
you are? Okay. You could just do us all a solid. And if anybody asks if we looked and met your gaze, just tell them no.
Okay.
It's super appreciated right now.
May I ask why?
In Soltarius, divine blood is sacred blood. It is respect given to the god that you are tied to.
Okay.
So looking at you directly, and the glance now starts to drop down, is very disrespectful towards a divine being. You're going to need one of these, and we'll flip towards the back of the book that has like a hollowed out section, and there is the same star that you saw kind of from the starfall on
Yeah.
there. A pin that he pulls. If you will, while you're in town, please return this when you're gone.
That's not necessary.
No, it is.
It's not my blood that's divine. I just have a
Doesn't
connection.
matter. I can get in serious trouble if I don't give you one of these. So wear this at belt height, please. And
Okay.
it's in the open, so you don't have this problem again. Appreciate it.
Great.
So,
And I'm just like staring at you this whole time.
Just
Book, that's incredibly rude. I'm divine.
if
I can't see you. I'm not actually looking at you.
I would just keep your gaze down. Best bet. Look down. Punishment is 7 lashings for making divine eye contact, or 20 gold pieces, depending on which price you want to pay. So keep that in mind. Don't make eye contact with divines. It's just a bad cause. Divines do have better rates. They can sell things at better prices. They can buy things at discounts, so it does come with certain benefits. And if you wish, the temple is towards the center of town. You may hold a service for your god, in which you will receive tithes that go towards them, provided you're on some sort of divine pilgrimage or mission from them. Make sense?
yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Great. There is seating upstairs for Divine Bloods. Any of their travelers, patrons, whatever, can follow them. Just while you're up there, just keep your head down, okay? Just save yourself the trouble. The more people you look at, the worse it gets, especially if they turn you in. So, can I get you a drink? Maybe some food?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, both please. Lunch, a drink.
Yeah.
He'll go back behind and come out with some neatly made sandwiches with some nice slices of meat, lettuce, and the sauce on top. And go over and kind of reach up, grab one of the higher bottles, pour 3 drinks.
Which is still pretty low because he's
Which is pretty low for him, yes. He does have to get a little stool though to like scoot up and grab it and come over, pour drinks, keeping his gaze like deliberately down or looking at one of you two now, and sets it in front of you. On the house. We'll go put the bottle back up. So, anything else I can help with?
Can the divines look at each other?
Yes.
Well, that just seems rude.
Well, it's a understanding of respect. If they want to look at each other, they can. They don't have to. Although, I think that's kind of a taboo. Most of them have like a little wave and a hi. I don't know how it works.
Who implemented this rule?
He'll take the book that's still open there, and there was a traveling
Don't say circus.
paladin that started this. He started in the south, made his way up, and he left a few holy cities and relics along the way. Saint Valor, that's his name. Yes, and if any of you are familiar with Waxarian, way up in the north there is a town called Valor, and that is where he ended his pilgrimage.
You're from the north. Are you familiar with this city or this saint? Not the biggest fan of velour as you are.
If I remember rightly, Valor is this one.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the name, but it's not a place I've ever been.
What about the man?
The saint?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to make a
Religion?
religion would work here, yeah.
Religion or history?
He's a holy figure.
I know nothing for Hook.
15.
Saint Valor. He did exactly like this halfling said, have kind of a holy pilgrimage. He wanted to create the perfect town, so he kind of left different iterations along his path as he traveled, kind of staying for a little while, creating a town, seeing if it worked, and then continuing on.
Okay.
So he ruined a whole continent is what he did.
Yes.
He was just like doing social engineering experiments.
Yeah, basically.
Is the book you're looking at the book of like your town laws?
Yeah, it has pretty basic. I mean, pretty much what I summed up. Sorry, I'm still getting used to not looking at you.
I can just not look at you and I'll just like look up.
It's okay. No, it's my job. I appreciate that you aren't taking advantage of this right away.
And where do we go to report people who look at the...
You just find any of the Inquisitors or Holy Guards, and they'll
It says Inquisitors and Holy Guards, okay.
they'll take your word for it. So,
Guys, we gotta go. I don't like this place.
At the mention of Inquisitors and Holy Guards, Book just pulls a length of black fabric out of his pocket and ties it around his eyes as a blindfold.
nice. Yeah, that will solve some problems. All right.
I can only blind sense out to 20 feet. I won't know if I'm looking at somebody I'm not supposed to be looking at.
Well, tremor sense for that matter.
Tremor sense,
But
yeah.
you can only sense the footsteps.
Yeah, I know, I'm like,
Yeah.
at that he's like, maybe this isn't as funny as I thought it was, and I don't want to,
And the other thing you would know about Valor is he was a conquest paladin.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so he did go on a road trip and ruin an entire country.
he had a mission. The last tidbit on him, the funny thing about him is he did create Valor as a very holy and righteous city. And it was known as that for some time. And then that perfection, due to its location, started attracting thieves and criminals because, well, you guys personally don't know about the Mind Flayer Fields, but it's really hard to get to Valor. So if you get there, you're pretty much set. People aren't typically going to come mess with you because getting there is a pain in the ass.
Okay.
So thieves and criminals immediately paid for the trips, found their way out there, and then it's become a thieves' den. It is overrun and exactly the opposite of what you would have wanted.
Great.
You do know for quite a stint there, it as well as some of the continent was run by vampires, but that has... I mean, rumors are that there's still like groups of them and old bloodlines that hide out there, but according to everyone else, they've been eradicated. So it's just kind of leftover rumors. But even then, most people are either pretty desperate or some sort of crime lord that has to go on the run. There's not a lot of reason people go to Valor. So that's what you would know with a 15. There's a couple other tidbits, but high roll.
Well, finders keepers.
Is this like a fortress in the center here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No one is.
That's the Well of the World.
Oh, the Well of the World.
Yep.
Yes.
That's that city surrounded by rivers with the big hole in it.
Yeah. And Valor is like up here,
All the way
where these
up.
three?
Yeah.
Oh, all the way up.
Top
Yeah, big
one
one.
there.
Okay.
No.
And where was your...
I'm from like up here.
Okay, so you're not like close, but you're in the region.
There's no actual dot there, but it's like north of the end of that river.
No, those three cities, at least I think, Isidore would probably be aware, known as the Tri-Cities.
Mm-hmm.
Violin
That's the only one I can remember.
Grufenstash, Vostomir.
Here.
So yeah, from the middlemost left, it's Grufenstash, Violin Vostomir. Also known as the Tri-Cities. Each of them have kind of a unique little thing to them. So, alright, you guys enjoy a quite well and deliciously made sandwich.
Sandwich? No.
And some top shelf booze. Most of it has kind of a elderberry flavor to it, but there is some sort of lemon either mixed in or that was squeezed on top that adds a little tartness. And as you kind of make your way up the stairs, you can definitely hear conversation going on. There's at least a couple of groups up here.
Okay. Would like to find maybe a table in the corner or something that isn't nearby anybody else at a table.
Yep.
And as we're going up the stairs and we can hear people be like, I'm sorry, Wrath, but can you please just, like, look at the floor? I don't want you to get in trouble. Sorry. It's very silly.
It is very silly. This town sucks.
It does, I'm sorry.
As you're kind of whispering over to Wrath, you get to the top of the stairs and you see there is a single, very useless red rope that runs across. And a very cheery, brightly dressed, blonde female half-elf that greets you. Hello! Welcome to the Fallen Star.
Hello.
Hello. Who's your deity?
Mine?
I'm gonna get your ass kicked.
I worship a multi-pantheon. Give me a religion check.
Me?
Yeah, she isn't...
I don't know anything about religion.
Doesn't seem to be lying. She does have like a necklace full of
That's a god.
A couple.
different symbols, so...
Good old 16 for a 22.
Oh, damn, alright.
You know anything about religion, the Paladin says?
I'm a divine soul sorcerer, thank you very much.
Yeah, you all look the same to me.
I have 4 proficiencies and one of them is religion.
So, one thing that stands out to you immediately and sends a shiver down your spine. There is a single, like, hook that hangs off to the side. And it's a very simple design, and it's almost like tucked and clipped into the chains of the necklace. Contenta tu Divus. God of the chains, the bound, and the imprisoned.
Interesting.
The legend of this god is that if the chains ever come undone, the world ends. A silvery sheet that kind of drops down with a pair of like deer antlers that come up off of it. Velada Dominus, which is the silent, the ominous, and the giving god. And it is literally a veiled god. It is a god covered by a long white sheet. It does have the antler horns and a large flaming halo around its head.
I'm a spooky ghost guy.
Yes. Never finished Halloween. He is a god that no one understands and many people worship because he grants power somewhat freely, which terrifies most people. So a lot of people will either worship him for a quick fix and then stop following, but anyone can pray to him, and a lot of people get power from him.
Warlock dip.
Ristobitas, which is god of death and rituals, has a kind of star-like symbol with a mask. The mask has like the 2 eye slots that come inward but don't open, and then comes to a point, almost creating that 5th point of the star that comes down off of the mask, which is the holy symbol for him.
She's wearing all of these symbols?
She's wearing all of these, yeah.
And like a necklace. Yeah.
She's like
I
Benny
love this.
from The Mummy.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah.
And then Vela Solis, which is a kind of not well-known god. He's known as the god of the sun veil. And few people worship him. Most people follow the actual god of the sun, which is...
The Sunveil. Is that like dawn? Like getting into like twilight? Like
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be kind of a twilight thing. He is a guardian to Solganagarat, the sun god. So yeah, that's her whole spectrum.
Interesting.
Hope you got all that. But yeah, the chained god is definitely tucked and hidden in there. That's not something she's like proudly worshiping.
Interesting. So I wonder, my thought is that, like, is she just hopping on all these wagons because these are gods that are frequently worshipped in the town? and she's just trying to appeal to all the divine people that live in the town, or
Guess
what?
we'll find out.
Anyways.
Table for 3?
Yes, please.
Alright, right this one. And she'll kind of lay a hand across. There's a table in the corner, there's one towards the middle of the room, and one up closer to the bar that's open.
I'll start walking towards the corner.
Okay. And she'll follow behind. She will pull out a seat for Isidore and slide it in as you sit.
Okay.
I'll just stand there.
What can I get the rest of you?
A seat, please. I'm blind, as you can tell.
Sorry. She will kind of begrudgingly, like, I already have to do enough shit. Grab the chair and slide it out for you.
And I would make a big show of, like, trying to find it.
She'll, like, put a hand and try to, like, guide you.
Thank you so much.
Sit you down.
And I'll just pull my own chair out.
Thank you. Alright, what can I get for you?
Did we not bring our food up here, or did we already eat that?
I assume you've been munching and chatting, but you can bring it up if you want.
Alright.
I'd take another glass of whatever we've been drinking.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed that, like, we had to go up here, so we just headed right for the stairs with, like, our little plates of sandwiches and glasses of milk.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like,
What can I get you?
children
Say
sent off
glasses
to
of
lunch.
milk?
Yes.
Yes.
I really hope the halfling wasn't keeping a bottle of milk on the shelf up in the bar.
How thick it is.
Hold on, takes a second.
Instead of a milk mustache, it's just cottage cheese.
Can I get a spoon for my... Alright. That will be 5 copper pieces and 1 silver.
I would very loudly say as she's walking off, did she give me the right change?
Yes.
The barkeep is a very boisterous and happy golden dragonborn. He does have a set of very prominent and curled up wings that sit on his back. And he currently has 5 glasses in front of him and has asked the patrons to stand back quite a bit and has taken in a deep breath and then just exhaled this line of flame across them. You can see the bar itself is made of an obsidian material and absorbs the heat as he goes across and lights the drinks on fire. There you are, a golden dragon! And he will take a couple of drops of some liquid that he has and drip into them, and a golden shimmer will kind of run through the glass of each of them now as it pierces through the fire and lands in it. The patrons will give a very polite golf clap and come over and wait for their drink glasses to cool a little before they pick them up and go back to their conversation.
Well, that was an interesting sight.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Book, suddenly a big burst of heat, and that's all you got.
What just happened?
The bartender is a golden dragonborn, and he made a fancy drink for...
Dragonborn, you say?
Yes.
I know one of those.
Do you?
Yeah, my old master.
Oh. Interesting.
Thought he was black, but now I'm not so sure.
There'll be a moment before he comes over to the edge of the bar, lifts up a bar flap, and makes his way over towards your table with your drinks. Comes over, kind of gently sets the two of them down near Book and Wrath, but walks all the way around to set down your glass right in front of you. And you can still feel like a little bit of heat rolling off of his jaw.
I shouldn't have put my extra underskirt back on.
Welcome to the Fallen Star, the upper half of Starfall. How are you all this afternoon?
Doing good. We were just passing through the town and stopped for lunch on our way.
Good, good. And you're new, I take it, seems.
Yes.
Yeah, fairly new.
I know most patrons in my establishment, so it's a pleasure to have you. And if waitress gives you any trouble, let me know. She's new.
Oh.
Of course.
Good. Well then, a pleasure. And he'll give a nod to you and give like a very poignant moment of looking at the two of you directly just to see if you make eye contact with him, which with the blindfold on, he like, okay.
But I would be able to tell that he was looking
Yes.
at me.
Yeah. Gives a very deliberate look.
Is he wearing one of those belt
Look,
things?
he is. He does have a belt, and on it there is a golden star. As a matter of fact, as you look around the room, almost all of the patrons here have a golden star at belt level.
But not the girl who let us in.
Not the girl who let you in. No.
What about the waitress?
The waitress does not either. No. And you can see they are deliberately, the whole time, they keep their head down, and if they do address a divine, they like look at the star on their belt. Mm-hmm. Like on purpose to keep their attention.
We probably shouldn't tarry here long.
Yeah.
Is there anything we need to purchase, do in a town before we head farther north?
I would look at not look, but turn my head to the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually would look in his eyes, but through the blindfold, so
Right.
he wouldn't be able to know. And I would say, may I inquire, good barkeep, what was the drink you were just making for the other patrons?
That? Oh, that's a golden dragon. One of my specialties.
Might I be allowed to inquire what the ingredients are?
It's a bit of a hidden secret. I can tell you a little bit, though. It's a very fine whiskey with a particular mead that I add to it. It's homebrewed myself. A flaming top, which burns off the froth and gives it a bit of that burny texture to it that melts away. Leaves the inside of the glass toasted and adds a smoky flavor to it. And then the extra ingredient that adds the shimmer I can't share. That is very much a family recipe.
I unfortunately would not be able to appreciate the shimmer anyway, so...
Yes, that is unfortunate.
How much for a round?
Oh, well, it'd be, I can charge a gold piece for you, and it would be 2 for the both of you.
I'm sad.
I want one.
Isidore already has a drink.
I think you just
They're
brought
like-
a drink to the table.
Yeah, we're on to 3 now.
Yes. All right.
Very good. He won't actually touch the gold. He'll just leave it on the table, go back behind the bar, kind of snap towards one of the waitresses and, point in that direction, and we'll give a nod and head over and collect your gold
I'm
pieces.
gonna roll a con check going into the third drink.
That's probably
Isidore
a good
does
idea.
not drink very much.
Yeah,
So
you're going to want it here.
15.
15. All right. You're pretty buzzed.
Yeah.
By the end of this drink, you're going to be like, hey guys, is the world moving or am I? But he will set up the ingredients. None of the bottles are labeled that he's pulling down. Everything looks like he's either got it custom made from somewhere or makes it himself. But pulls down this very vibrant bottle of whiskey. Everything has like either like a dragon on it or wings or some sort of like dragon-esque flavor. But starts mixing up this drink and then instructs any nearby patrons to stand back as he breathes across the two of them. And then for him, no problem, just immediately grabs the glasses, takes his tail and kind of flips up the...
Oh my god.
makes his way over, sets him down. Again, just slightly off center for you, like a skew, slightly a pained reach, and then comes right around directly in front of you. And definitely like waits. He's a little giddy about it. Please, tell me how it is.
Thank you, sir. I push my other empty glass to the side and I'm like,
And I do the whole, until I, find mine. I'll play along. I don't want them to know. And yeah, is it a shooter or is it like a...
No, it's like a
Like a
wide glass
Okay.
of
yeah.
whiskey.
Oh yeah, I'll take a drink.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's delicious. It
Excellent.
is. The mead that he uses gives like a sweetness that cuts off on like that harshness from the whiskey. That burn sensation gives it like a scotch-like flavor that comes with it. And whatever that drop of golden is, like you can't place it. It's like maybe there's a leftover of like a lemon or like a bright flavor, grapefruity something there that hits you afterwards. And it's just a really nice fruit that finishes off that smokiness. But you can't, that flavor is just a little interesting.
Is it
Can't
magical?
place it. Make an Arcana check.
18.
18. It isn't magical. It's actually divine.
Oh. All right. I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Glad you appreciate it. I can see the expressions on your faces.
Phenomenal drink, sir.
My compliments.
Well, come back anytime. Since you're new to the town, any tips, tricks, anywhere I can send you? I see you already are aware of the customs, which is good. Again, very deliberately taking his time looking at Wrath and Book.
Daring you to look at him.
There's definitely, like, more so than the other patrons, like, who just don't really care that there's two non-divines up here. He has some Dragonborn pride going on right now. He is definitely, like, tempting fate on purpose.
I'm used to that kind of thing. I know this game.
A little bit of the ego from
I know this game. I am perfectly willing to play this game with him.
But yes, can I direct you anywhere? Stables, magic items.
We're near the a river. Do they offer river travel north from here?
Yes, there's a few rotating boats that will take you up and down, depending on where you want to go.
I assume the docks are fairly easy to find?
Oh yes, head to the middle of town. When you see the brilliant cathedral in front of you, which I would highly recommend stopping at, it is a work of art.
I would love to.
Make a left down either of the split streets, and it will take you to two different docks. I would recommend going towards the uppermost dock. If you're looking for a longer trip, it'll be a nicer ride. A little more expensive. Lower end dock, better for shipping. If you don't mind traveling with the crates and having a slower trip, still not a bad choice. Wouldn't recommend it though.
Well, thank you for your help.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're looking for a good place to set up shop, this town is absolutely great for divines.
It seems that way, yes.
And there's a moment where he hasn't stretched the wings in a while. One comes off and comes around. The other one, and again just side-eyeing towards the two of you. Flips them back. All right. The waitress kind of meekly comes over and, excuse me, sir. There's a table who... Oh, yes! Other patrons. And he'll make his way over.
I think he's hitting on you.
No, I think he's just like that. Yeah. Let's not tarry too long, although I will admit I would very much like to see that temple.
I was thinking we might want to check out a shop and see if
Definitely.
There's anything good that you might be able to get us a deal on.
Fair.
Since you seem to pull all the weight in this town.
It's odd. I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah, it's kicking in. Alright. You guys, on your way out, have the red rope lifted with the sign. Very respectful nod is given to one of you.
To you, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
She has a weird moment of okay.
What did they figure out about the monkey? Does he need to be deferred to?
There was definitely a lot of attention right away of people monkey, but it doesn't seem like avoiding eye contact with him is necessary.
Monkey's got to pay full price.
Sorry. Monkey's gonna end up stealing one of those little stars.
Oh,
those pins.
You think I was about to make a roll here? Okay. Yeah, the monkey definitely like gives a pat on her shoulder on the way by and a thumbs up, and then definitely has something in his hand that he sticks in one of his little vest pockets.
All right, yeah. Let's head towards the main part of town.
Okay.
Find a shop. Check out that temple. See about booking North Passage.
All right.
I don't have a lot of money. I don't think I can travel the fancy way. But we'll see.
Yeah, as you guys are heading towards town,
They like divines, don't we?
there is a magic item shop known as the Sun's Blessing, if there's any interest there. Across the street there is a general goods shop, which is just the light of our lives.
Magic goods or general goods?
Magic and then general, or
Sure.
Onward!
Inside is a pretty packed 15 by 15 space. There are these pillars with shelves on them that kind of wrap around, and a slew of magical trinkets. If you want to know about them, you're going to have to go through and like pick through, because they're all just kind of a jumbled mess. There is a table with a chair behind it and a few items up on a wall behind that are being suspended, somewhat magically, one might say. Behind that is a purple-skinned individual with large fairy wings that come off their back. I love my random chart for races here.
are they currently using the wings to fly?
Nope.
Okay.
No. And they are humanoid in size. I mean, they're full. But the wings are just kind of slowly flickering, and there is a certain amount of like light and, well, pixie dust, I guess you could say. That's kind of glimmering and falling off the wings.
Does this person wear a star?
They do. Yes. Yep.
That makes sense in a magic item shop, I guess.
They have some purpley blue robes that kind of offset their skin and match, and then a belt that brings to the center with the star on it. Hello. Welcome.
Greetings.
Hello.
Can I help you find anything?
Immediately drawn to the pile of mess.
Okay.
Just
Digging through, kind of the first few things you would find would be like a noisemaker that you twist, and some arcane rune starts to glow brighter, and then when you release it, it'll vibrate and make a ton of noise. There are
Agreed.
small little yellow orbs that as you hold them start to light up a little bit, and as you move them more seem to produce more light. There is a partially like the end of a wand that's been snapped off, so the back half of it that remains that's in there. There is a metal band with like two snake heads that come around. That again you can feel some sort of energy coming off of it, but has no immediate effect as you pick it up. It's the first few things you see in there. Just don't prick yourself, please. Don't wave that. Definitely needs to be repaired.
Why is it out on the shop floor?
I forgot to pick it up.
Don't give it to the monkey.
I think I want a staff.
A staff, okay. Yeah. So you kind of point over towards like a large open barrel that has multiple staves that have been like stuck
Like
in
an
it.
umbrella
There's
holder.
one of those
Yeah.
in my magic item shop too. It's got spears and staves and all sorts of pole arms.
Yep, it's just a bunch of staves sitting in a
Like an umbrella
barrel.
holder.
Yep.
Now, the shopkeeper, eye contact or no?
They're making eye contact
Okay.
with you, yeah.
Alright. So they're...
Yep.
They're
Yeah, they
pinned
have
as
the
well?
star, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep, very visible. I mean, you can look up to their waist and see that
Yeah.
it's there in one of you.
I would like to, you can get within 10 feet and see it.
So I think my you said it's 15 by 15. I can see the whole shop.
Yeah, you can pretty much catch the whole
So
shop.
That's
I'm
good.
just
Just like shifting 5 feet one way or another
Yeah,
gives
I'm
you a
just
whole view.
Nice.
taking it all in with my
Yep.
tremor sense and seeing it.
Yeah, I'd like to check out the staffs.
With your tremor sense, by the way, there's a door behind that desk where the floating items are. And just on the other side of it, to the right side of the door, there's a very low vibration of something there, something relatively heavy.
And I would come over to you as you were perusing staves, and I would say, is there a door behind the shopkeep?
Can I see a door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
There's
There is
something
a door.
large
There is a
back there.
That's visible.
I
Large.
can feel it vibrating.
Hmm. Interesting.
Touch the ground.
If you want to make an investigation check, you might notice it.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Can I move closer and try to get a better sense of what it is?
Yeah. I mean, to get within your blind sense of that, you have to be pretty much up next to the door. And she's kind of standing right there.
Sure. Is
Like,
there like
a
a
bit
counter
awkward.
between us? That I could,
It's
like-
actually just a table that's been
Oh,
set
okay.
out and a
Oh.
chair behind it. Like, there's a bunch of like scrolls and notes and books that are open on it.
Could you help me? Tell me a bit about some of these?
Sure, yeah, she'll come over and start showing some of the staffs to you. So.
Distraction quiet.
Well,
Yeah, as I...
I'll need to know how powerful the staff are you looking for.
I think anything too powerful is probably out of my price range.
Okay. So she'll start like shifting through the pile of staves and pushing some off to the side where they like lean against the barrel and reaching for slightly simpler looking ones. Make your way around the table.
Yeah, and I would just like sort of like casually lean up against the wall
Okay.
if I could.
Yeah, you lean against the wall. And on the vibrations there is a large size being of some sort in full plate armor. And that's the vibrations that you're feeling. Your blind sense kind of, taken by the door, so you're only getting a slight bit that wraps around. But you get about half of this massive, large-sized being in plate armor that is just sitting there and is like in a resting position, but just their presence has a slow vibration to it.
Interesting. Okay.
If you want something that's a multi-purpose staff, this one has the Firebolt cantrip. It's great for lighting fires and burning people.
That's actually not
She's not
what I
wrong.
have, surprisingly enough.
She will kind of look back and notice you by the door, but seeing that you're blind, turns back and doesn't really care.
You can just bump it around.
Yeah, basically.
Are those little glowing orbs like bouncy balls, or if I throw it at the ground, it's gonna break?
Seems to be made of glass,
Oh, yeah, okay. Don't throw this at the ground.
but
My glass bounces.
it is magic, so
Let's go
Oh,
check
you're
it
gonna
out
get a
all
kick
again.
out of
if you want to see what it does.
Just like,
You could also ask the shopkeeper instead of just experimenting with the merchandise.
just draw my name
You
in this.
could, but what fun is it? It does leave like a little afterglow as you swing it through the air. And,
This
you
guy-
know,
This thing is pretty
Blades
bright.
constantly and be like, what does this do? And throw it on the ground and see. Sure, they'll love that.
show me.
With your vision, it's not even, you don't even see the light, it's just see me going, what are you doing?
Doing? She told you not to play with that wand.
This isn't a wand, it's an orb? I'm pondering these orbs.
If you wanted something more useful, there's the staff with the firebolt has like a little drake head on it that comes to and grips the top.
Cute.
The top of this staff has like a hand that comes up and wraps around. If you need an extra hand from time to time, this one could be helpful.
Alright, little mage hand.
So you'll flip through another staff with like a snake's head on top. This has a acid bolt cantrip, good for hitting multiple targets at once if you need it. And she'll flip flip past one with this like bright gemstone on top. That's a little out of your price range.
What does it do though?
This one? You're divine. Are you familiar with the spell Holy Weapon?
Sure.
Oh. It allows you to cast it either on this weapon or on someone you touch the staff with.
Oh.
Very potent spell.
Yes, very cool.
Once per day, and then it will recharge the next day. Let's see. One has like a half smiling, half frowning face. Charm person or like a charm cantrip if you're interested in that. Let's see, that's most of what I've got. Yeah, I think that would be the best options for you. And each of those stabs typically will run... I haven't even rolled fair market value.
I can guarantee you that I don't have enough money for any of them.
Not bad. Only 10%.
I would come up to you and I would say, my lady, don't forget the true purpose of our visit. And I would pull out the wrapped oath blade and say, my liege wishes to know what she might get in exchange for this fine blade.
Well, eesh.
Oh, yes.
I had completely forgotten.
Well, we'll take it. Happy. Take it over to the table. Scroll. Finds it underneath. Okay. Let's see. And we'll channel some energy towards it that lights up the scroll and then fades, seeming to keep the text on it, and then roll it back up. And then cast it over the blade. One second. And she'll go towards the door, open it. You can see it's completely dark in there, except for like a small ember of fire that's burning. And off to the side there is a slight glint of double, triple your size basically of plate mail that is just kind of slightly shimmering from the light that hits inside there.
Massive. My God, what are you outfitting? Cave trolls?
And you'll hear a little clinging, clattering, and she'll come back with another scroll. This is a little more correct, and unroll it. They'll have different text on there, and she'll do the same thing, kind of channel some energy into it, and then pull off of it, roll it back up, run that energy across the blade. Whew. Oh, this is real. Oh, they do exist. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Getting the sense this might be out of her price, right?
I think she's gonna go get the deed for the shop in a second.
Let me see. I mean, it'd be worth it. I could take out a loan. It would make sense. Okay, so yeah, I would buy this off you for 100,000 gold pieces.
Can I just get like a quick insight check of Book, since this was his whole plan?
Sure.
I wasn't expecting that number. I was just trying to get you a staff.
So, when the Vistani offered you the price,
All those diamonds.
that's all he had.
Yeah, that's all he had.
Yeah.
I know, that's why
And he was like, no, it's worth much more,
I
but this is
know,
all I have.
it's-
Yeah. No, this blade is worth a shit ton.
It's not great. It was only a 13.
I mean, you guys have been traveling for 7 days now, technically? Like, 6 days? 6 days-ish? You've been through a lot in that time. I'd say reading each other isn't a challenge. I'd say 10 is probably where you're at this point. There might be some surprises, but mostly you can read each other.
You cool if I sell the sword and get us enough money to retire?
I haven't sworn any oaths to it yet. So, I mean, if we wanted to sell the sword, we could get a lot of money right now for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also sounds like we could get a lot of money later for it too. So,
We could.
And to be fair, that is at an increased price due to your standing.
oh, that's right.
most-
That was the whole thing. That's why I said it was yours.
Most
Yes.
standard places probably would run a little less than that. Those are just, not standard pricing. It's, if you could sell it somewhere else, but it will be worth less.
That's 33,000 gold each.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, you guys rolled a stupidly good fucking item on
Yeah.
that list.
You really did.
Yeah.
How would we even carry that much gold?
It's a lot of platinum.
Oh, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, platinum. I forgot about platinum.
Yep.
Platinum, yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is a magic shop. I believe someone would probably have a bag of holding for sale as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
That's
For
it.
free.
You get to Scrooge McDuck for a few minutes.
I would say to the shopkeep, but surely someone as wise and powerful as you would not wish to leave a divine being like this unarmed after selling her
this
sword.
so
Would you
much.
be able to throw in the holy weapon staff?
Whew, Jesus. Let me see.
Why not? Take out
Make
loan.
a persuasion check here.
Can I assist by being divine?
If you have input into it, you can give me some verbal input. And
That was in that one, which would make it a 3.
and if you want to try to play into it, you can.
It is a very powerful weapon that I was hoping to. I was hoping to have assist me on my journey.
Please don't mind my blind idiot manservant.
You can roll it with advantage. That's fine.
Exactly the same.
Is it another one? Yes. This was not meant to happen.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
All right.
You can still buy it.
Are there any armor pieces in here other than the
There's a
monstrosity?
big fucking set in the back.
There is a moment where they kind of realize, like, oh shit, I left the door open and go
Yeah,
over.
I'm like kind of peeking in, like, my God, you sell armor in here too?
I do sell some pieces of armor, and do you come close, like, get a better look at the armor? Or are you kind of approaching?
I'm just kind of,
So-
well, with the door open, I kind of see the glint, and I
Kinda
kind
start
of
leaning over,
lean just a
okay.
little bit to be like, oh, what's this?
You're right next to the door. Still at this point, or have you moved over?
No, I've moved,
Okay.
so she doesn't think that I'm like trying to scam on the door.
Okay.
I came over and I like put the sword on the table with
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So you'd be closest to this. There is a moment where, like, being that close, the armor starts to, like, lean down, and a hand, like, comes up and around the door and starts making its way through, and she goes, no, Brutus, they're fine, calm down, you're good, you're fine. Back,
Brutus.
please, back.
Oh, there's something in the armor.
He slowly,
It's
like,
wow.
comes back.
Oh, come on.
And actually, no, there is nothing in the armor. You can see under the helmet, it is blank. And she puts her hand up, and you can see a tattoo on the back of her hand that matches a rune on the inside of the armor that both light up at the same time. And she says, back, Brutus, and the armor folds back up and stands in position.
My God, that thing is monstrous.
You need some defense. And we'll close the door. Even more than the items on display, there's a lot of potent items in here.
Did you craft him yourself?
Brutus was gifted by a friend of mine, actually. Yes. He's a good friend. I do hope they're well. But, yes, do I sell armor? Yes, I do. I sell pieces. I have... What suit you best? You're an upfront.
I take the little chain shirt and just go, shh, something a little quieter,
Oh,
maybe.
noisy. I can help solve the noisiness
He's
if you
very
like.
noisy.
I mean, even
Yeah.
that would be top notch.
Excellent. All right. Let me see. She pulls a wand from her belt and finds silence ring. And a little light starts to trail off and climbs up and goes up to the upper part of one of the shelves. And she'll conjure a mage hand, which will go up, rummage around, grab a ring, bring it down.
A locate object wand. That is the best thing for a chaotic shopkeeper to have.
That's great.
I love that.
The ring has like a face on it with 2 hands covering the mouth.
Oh.
Now this is a self-silence ring. It does have downfalls, but it has even greater benefits. The downfall is you shroud yourself in silence, which means you can't speak. However, you also don't make any noise whatsoever. 1 charge, once per day. Very effective.
How long does it last?
It lasts...
Or is it like until I take it off type deal?
Let me see. Silence. It lasts up to 10 minutes. It does require you to focus on it. It has 1 charge.
I'll think about
Okay. And if you're interested, that will run you about 125 gold.
it. Okay.
Very useful item. If you want to pay more, I think I have a higher charge version somewhere around here. I'd have to find it. I need a minute for this to recharge.
Take it.
Nice. But yes, I do have, I have a very interesting set of gauntlets, I think, that would appeal to an upfronter like yourself, if you're interested. Yes. She'll start looking around again. Oh, yes, and floating next to her there's a pair of gauntlets just kind of right next to her head. Here they are. She'll just pluck them out of the air and bring them over, which, yes, suddenly enters your vision.
I really hate this.
Most of these actually you would have sensed in your blind sense when you came up here.
Yeah, but then they would suddenly vanish off of the shelf and reappear in her hands, right?
So, well, and they're floating midair even. So
Oh yeah, so they would just
yeah.
disappear off the shelf. And
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah, your blind sense though, because it's a bubble, right? So
Yeah.
you would have some upper feeling. So 1 or 2 of these items you'd be like, oh, there's shit floating above
Yeah.
me. But
Yeah.
most of it, yes, would suddenly appear in her hands, and you'd be like, oh, okay. There's
I feel like as soon as we walked in, Isidore would have been like, I'm warning you, Book, there's a lot of floating things in here. Don't be startled.
thank you.
and she'll bring the gauntlets over.
Once my blind sense is out to more than 10 feet, I'll be okay. It really will.
So these will run you about 3,500 gold. They're pricey.
Ooh, a whole tenth of what we just made off the sword.
But they will allow you to extend the reach of your weapon up to 30 feet. A spectral version of your hand will appear and allow you to, as if you were wielding the weapon yourself, swing at opponents at a distance.
Now, would that work on fists?
It does apply to a weapon you're holding, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've actually looked this up,
So-
and for the purposes of combat, fists do not count as a weapon.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah, there's some gray area I put in there, but yes, for the most part.
Although to be fair,
Brass
you'd be
knuckles.
punching people you couldn't even like sense.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
That's, oh man, just wildly swinging fists, just...
For now.
Yeah.
A 30-foot tornado of fists.
Sit around blind guy. That's a great plan.
I see no downside.
Actually, you trained on Exvonia for a little while, right? We
Yeah.
discussed that? Okay. Yeah, no, you would be you'd be familiar with monks that had like a cage-like wrap around their hands.
Oh, sure.
Either to use as a weapon, but there was a very poignant notion that they were never to be taken off.
Oh, sure, sure.
You maybe saw one master who had like leftover marks from whatever weird shit he went through, but
So.
you've never seen him in action. So, but yes, there is a brand of monk that is very fun. So those might interest you. Let's see, I mean, that's my big one that I think you'd like. Yeah, I'd have to dig through my items. But that's my big set that comes to mind, yes.
Okay.
Let me see.
I'm gonna go back and continue playing with the little glowing orbs.
Okay.
You continue talking to these two. So I'm just like, or
Those each contain like a firebolt or something, and if you drop it, you're gonna burn the whole shop down.
Easy with
You're
those.
just playing with it like it's a light pen.
I'm sure one of the floating orbs is a sprinkler system.
Just a bunch of orbs on the ceiling that are the create water cantrip.
Yeah.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
With like a detect smoke bubbler.
Yeah.
like, huh.
I might steal that idea from myself from my own campaign, actually.
I do have a rather, well, I don't know if it would apply to any of you in particular. Depends on if your bloodline is more given than studied. I've studied a bit of magic myself. Mine is not innate per se, but some people have that. Oh yes, I do keep this one close. And she will pull out this small little narrowing piece of glass. At the top of it, there is this kind of like flowered out metal piece that is extremely sharp looking, with a little metal rim that runs around it, and a silver chain that comes across it. I think this is called a Bloodwell, if I remember right. Something unique for those with innate magics. It's pretty useful though, if you ask me.
What does it do?
It enhances innate magics, I think. It's makes you a little more potent.
It's gonna want your blood.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think you have to keep like leading into it. I think it's just for the attunement process, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it makes you a more potent caster,
Okay.
supposedly.
That's very vague.
I can't describe it exactly. It's not my type of magic.
Okay.
Sorry, mine's all studied.
I do not have the identify spell, but I could like Arcana check if she'd let me hold on to it.
Make
I
an
don't know if
Arcana
it would
check.
actually tell me anything.
It's magical.
It's magical.
You know.
Dirty 20. Just like a real dirty 20.
Okay.
So it's like a nasty 20.
So, holding.
Hey, I'm a little tipsy, man.
I'm gonna start calling him Nasty 20s now.
Oh God! Damn it, Val. You get the sense that this is an arcane focus,
Okay.
specifically for sorcerers,
Mhm.
and this particular variant is a +1,
Okay.
which would apply to your spells and your DC,
Nice.
mechanically speaking.
Nice.
Very nice.
How much would something like that run?
This runs about 20,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Oh.
Something to keep in mind, definitely.
Yes, it's
Yes.
extremely useful. This one was given to me with a very cryptic moniker. Something about evolving with its caster, which means absolutely nothing to me, but it has a unique property, I guess. So, thus the hike up in price. Typically runs. Yes, that hike up in price. Yes, do it.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really want that.
It's your gold.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
It
And
is-
typically I'd run this closer to 10,000, but if it has unique properties, might as well sell it for what it's worth.
No, but you aren't entirely aware of what the unique properties are.
No, but I've been a magic shop owner for some time. I know when someone walks in with unique properties, like an oath blade, the value is way more than what they give on.
All right. Well, we'll make the deal for the sword. Do you need a time to gather that much funds?
Take a couple minutes.
Okay.
I haven't shopped yet.
Okay.
She'll open the door. Brutus, grabs a scroll, flips it open and close a couple of times. Here we are. Writes onto it, closes it. Take this out of the bag, please. Brutus comes through, scraping against the door frame to get through.
I want one.
Makes his way to the door. Has to, like, just with the bitty bit of his fingers, like, gets it. I should look at bigger doors, but I always forget. And there's just a bunch of people on the street who are like, what the?
So they're not used to this.
They're not used to Brutus.
Okay, good.
No, no.
I am glad that it's not just like her errand boy.
This might be the first time Brutus has left the shop.
Okay. Okay.
What a useful companion Brutus is.
He sounded
Porn
very
is gonna give you
large.
daggers.
Large in size, very hollow. You would notice that when he gets close.
No, I would say that to the shop.
Oh, yes.
Like my you
Oh,
know,
gotcha.
he was huge, but like I don't want to let on that I actually saw him. So he
Gotcha.
sounded very big.
Oh yes, yes. Brutus is quite brute. Big old fellow. I do miss my younger years. That was fun. He was a very excellent smith. And I was a very
Smiths-
excellent wizard.
Smiths can be handy, yes.
Ah, yes. Well,
It's like subtly to the little
yeah,
necklace that he's got on.
can be handy.
If my passive was higher, I'd be like, clog that. There's no way I noticed. I'm spending all of my energy trying to appear like I'm slightly better than other people. And I don't know how to do it, so I'm kind of just like,
Well, let's see. What do we give to the man? I don't know. Are you a spear fan or do you prefer your fists?
I prefer my fists. I'm but a simple monk who is unaccustomed to fancy weapons and armor.
And very
and also
blind.
cannot see anything.
Apparently.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. All right. Walk over. No, you haven't seen before. That's just me. But I've always wanted to try casting a spell on someone who couldn't see.
What spell?
Probably not familiar with it. It's a spell called True Sight.
Would I be familiar with it?
It's pretty heavily
I
on your
know.
level range. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Drake, give me history. You're proficient, right?
In history, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do history on this. We'll see if that comes up.
Ooh, 13.
Okay. No, not something you'd be familiar with. But anyway, let's see. What do I have for you? Oh, do I still have those? Pulls up the wand again. Find wraps. The wand goes back into the back room.
Brings back an M&M up.
I was gonna say like Tupac Shakur's whole catalog just.
Jukebox on the shoulder, just goes in the back, shuffles around a bit. You hear a crate get pried open. Oh yes, I do. And comes back with some very plain white-looking wraps. I thought I shipped these out. I didn't ship that crate. Oh, that explains why I never got paid for that. I should update my books. Anyway, she'll just hand you some very plain-looking wraps.
May I ask what they do?
Yes. I don't entirely know.
Oh.
I was trading with someone, and they said they help when you want to punch someone. And I tried them out once. They didn't do shit for me. So I felt a little ripped off. But they're magical. I know that much. But any sort of identifying or legend loring or anything else I've done has literally no effect.
Any ideas, you sir?
I will roll an Arcana check, but I do not. I don't have identify or anything, so I'll just like hold my hand over it, like very, like I know what I'm doing. I just got another like real nasty 20.
No clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're magic for sure.
I
How
know
much are the
it
wraps?
20,000.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, then, yeah, they probably do something good.
Again, I don't know what they do, but someone told me they're unique,
I don't know what they do either.
and that tells me
Interesting.
they're worth a lot.
We are planning to go to the temple, right? Still?
Yes, I would love to.
Presumably there'll be someone
Yes.
there with detect
We'll
magic
be
or
on our way.
identify.
You're visiting the temple. Lovely. Good.
One last question from me. Are you aware of any magical tattoo shops in this city?
Yeah. Funny you should ask. There was a gentleman who came through 2 or 3 hours earlier asking the same question. He was an odd-looking individual. He slightly beastly in appearance. Very muscular, but the tendons on his arms and his legs were slightly, cat-like, I guess. His face was a little more squared, his front two teeth a little sharper, ears kind of came almost more cat-like than elvish, but kind of in an elvish appearance. Very short black hair. This is just a strange-looking individual that came in, asked about Manchville tattoos. I pointed him in the direction, and then he left.
All right. Where's this magical tattoo artist?
Down by the docks. So, the upper end docks, actually,
Okay.
is where he typically works. He sets up a stand, or he does own a little house on the corner there. It just depends on if he wants to work outside or not. Typically works outside.
No. We can definitely look for him.
I recommend it. Do you want me to hold on to these for you, or are we interested now? I'm sure Bruce will be back shortly with the coin, but if you wanted to go check out other things first, up to you.
We could go take a turn around the temple and come back.
Perfect. All
I
right.
definitely would love to see that.
Oh, I wanted to take my wraps to the temple and see if I could get them identified.
Oh, gotcha. Were you gonna buy him then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless she'll let me take them to get identified first. But I assumed it was a...
It's an awful lot of gold.
Yeah,
If
I
I
know.
show up, I'd rather not risk it. No
Well, you
offense.
do have the sword.
If you want to leave it with me for collateral, sure. You can take them.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's...
like we could take all of our items that we don't know what they are. And then we'd also be doing you a service and finding out what you're...
True, I can charge more if it turns out they're worth more. You guys head towards the temple. Getting towards the square with the fountain, as you get closer you can see there are all sorts of, a variety of angels from different gods that have been built into the center of this fountain, and each of them kind of have like the water spout coming off and that sort of thing. And just past that and to the right, as there is kind of, you're noticing a star pattern for the main streets that kind of come off. On the
Yeah,
right
stars
side,
are kind of a motif in this city.
there's a bit of a thing going on there. There is
Hey, I
a
appreciate it.
large cathedral, very Romanesque in its style, and kind of out of place compared to every other building here. Like, this thing is ridiculously grandiose. Stepping inside, you realize when you walk into kind of the main foyer, there are stairs that go up on your left and right, and continuing forward, there is a 100-foot long, 50-foot wide expanse that goes up about 60 feet. You can definitely hear people's footsteps on a floor above. If you really want to inquire on gods, I'll start rolling on my chart here, but needless to say, there is a slew of a pantheon in here.
Obvious question. Felix Aquarius.
Give me another religion check.
16.
Above you, like 2 floors,
Okay.
you can feel that like galaxy pull and notion when you connect with her.
I let out a yawn. Upstairs.
Down here, there are a variety of priests that kind of stay near their gods, each echoing that flavor of being, each of them with a gold star on their belt.
If you gentlemen don't mind, I would like to go upstairs and see if there's a representative of my own faction here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who could help you with the
I
rest.
think I just need a paladin or a cleric who can cast Identify.
Let's see. Actually, I can pull that up here. Isidore, give me another religion check.
12.
Okay.
To be fair, I just threw the dice.
That's fine. These
Didn't
are
actually roll it.
these are pretty prime gods, so it's not
Yeah.
like your brain needs to get racked. Sapitian is a god of wisdom and insights. He typically has kind of interesting and weird followers. Always has an owl companion, staff that he uses, four-armed creature, kind of pod-like feet towards the end, humanoid in torso. His white hair always blocks his face, and there's a yellow, more silverish triangle that hovers over his head with a red ooze that slowly permeates out of it.
Creepy.
That is creepy.
Sophia Noctia is another goddess of wisdom, but she's also the goddess of owls.
And are these ones that I see represented here on this main floor?
Sapitian is on the first floor. You
Okay.
can see him clearly. You would assume that Sophia Noctia would also be around this church somewhere, but he's not like currently visible.
Okay. If you're looking for someone who might help, look around. Sapitian, possibly, representatives or followers of him. Back corner.
I don't know where you're pointing.
This way.
I can't see what you're pointing at.
I'll grab onto your shoulder and start hauling you out.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm bad with directions. Don't look at anybody, please.
No problem.
So,
It's not like blindfold on.
back corner, so about 100 feet down,
I'm gonna leave these guys and go upstairs.
you finally get to the massive statue of
Yeah.
Sapitian. He is sitting in this kind of like woven basket chair. He has one leg pronouncedly out, the other one is kind of covered by some cloth.
This is the statue, or this is...
The statue, yes. One arm rests on his knee, the other set off to the side, or excuse me, the other, because forearms, set off to the side. One kind of gently lays over his staff, and another one grips the other side of this. And towards the top, an owl sits, kind of looking off into the distance, and he is positioned forward. And you do sense, from your tremor sense, movement off of the triangle that floats off of his head, and this red line that shifts slightly in circles. The followers are wearing boots that kind of match that animal-like foot that wraps around the front of the boot. Their cloaks almost have like a extra arm sort of looseness that hangs to them, and each of them wear a circlet with a triangle formed into it. And Owlin is the one who greets you.
Just out of curiosity, what's going on with Thorn as we're in this
Yeah,
incredibly
yeah.
holy space?
Oh, Thorn is just all over. He is staring at all of these statues, and probably will start like flying and looping around and sitting on statues and looking over them.
Alright.
And then when he finishes his route in this room, he will fly upstairs, almost like he's looking for something.
If there's a statue of this monkey in this temple, I'm gonna lose it.
Just a giant flying monkey.
Just
So
crawling out of your mouth.
There is a point where you do see Thorn do like a loop around you as well, but that will come a little later. Oh, hello. Are you followers of Sapaitan?
Greetings. Unfortunately, we do not have the pleasure of following that particular deity, but we are hoping to be bestowed with some of his wisdom today.
Oh, yes, of course. Please, come sit down. And the owl will kind of pull out some of these cushions that are set around the statue, have you sit on them, and cross his legs and sit on his own, his like birdie legs kind of sticking out from his feathers.
Owls do sit with their legs crossed in real life too
Yes,
when
they
they
do.
sleep, so that's like that tracks.
Very perfect.
I love it. I'm delighted by this.
And he'll kind of like give a little stretch and then rotate his head all the way around. Ah, all right. What can I help in the terms of knowledge with?
And I would pull the wraps out. And I have just acquired these.
A little more to your left.
And am hoping that Sapaitan can tell me what they are and what they do.
Let's see if I can channel my great god. These are most interesting. Their knowledge lost to time allow you to grasp elements with them. Yes. That's what I can see anyway.
I thank you and your master for the gift of the wisdom.
Of course.
Is there a place that I could make an offering?
Oh, yes. And he'll take you around behind the statue. There's like a little offering box. Seems to be pretty similar, where people are like making a circle around each statue, and then a little clinking every now and then.
And I could put a gold in the offering box.
So why it's in, and all of us appreciate it. Ah, this is a good day. And he will actually, well, back here, take his wings and fly his way up. And you can see there's like a little canopy there. You can't see shit. But, Rad, you see there's like a little canopy with like some hanging like bird poles, you know, like the little loop that goes around.
Little perches.
Yes. And there's a couple Alkin up there, a couple that are like curled up and sleeping or resting, and he like makes his way up, lands on one, and just slowly starts to doze off.
That's unsettling.
Where'd he go?
There's a nest up there.
About 30 feet up, kind of in the dome.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, upstairs,
Yes.
she's a door. Come to the statue of Galacticoeus. Exquisitely made. There is some very old petrified wood that has been used for the legs and the arms of her body. Marble for the headpiece that comes up to obsidian that makes out that flowing, and it looks like little bits of colored marble have been placed among the obsidian to mirror that galaxy that comes from her mind.
It doesn't do her justice, but it's beautiful.
And of course, there are bedrolls and people sleeping.
Naturally.
Yeah, I wondered if you were going to actually be able to talk to anyone. Or
It's alright. Listen, if I go up there, take a quick nap. Cool with that, man.
There's a reason we didn't ask Galacticoeus' acolytes for help.
Yeah. And I'll be like, okay, first, just gonna...
Assuming that there's just like open bedrolls sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
If everybody is in communion with her, I'm not going to disturb anyone.
Okay.
But I will kneel down on one of the bedrolls and sort of look up at the statue for a moment. You kind of open your eyes. And then I will I'm gonna lay down, man.
Okay. Hell yeah, give me that religion check. Absolutely.
Listen, I'm having a small faith crisis, and I'm just kind of like, I'm bottling it. That's a natural 19 on the die for 25.
Very nice.
Wow.
As you sleep, you have this sort of myriad of dreams that come to you. And each one of them starts with the same thing. There are 3 of them. The first one, I love my shirt. First one is a lion folk, Leonin, that takes his furry claw and jabs it onto the flower and bleeds into that locket. And then you see another flicker of him in the savannah as there is this...
Wait, like the vial thing that I'm gonna buy?
Mhm.
Oh shit.
There's wildfire all about, and you see floating from the flames this dark-cloaked individual, and just ripples of black energy coming off of him. And in the Leonin's hand, this bead of light expands and forms as he tosses it at the individual. And there's this exchanging of these dark and light blows before finally this beam of light drops from the heavens and eviscerates the creature. The next one is of a high elf, a moon elf, putting their finger on, their blood dripping in with a silvery hue. And the glimpses you get are of them meditating and leading several people. They guide them through different parts of their lives, and almost in like a whispered lore are like a guardian spirit. And then you see them kind of curled up in their crypt. And the memory continues as being pulled off of their neck a dwarf. Oh, that's fun. A dwarf looks like a thief in the night, like hood up, comes over and grabs it and starts to pull it off, accidentally like pricks their finger as their blood drips in. And then their eyes open wide and fill with light. And they put it around their neck and suddenly realize that they have some innate magic they didn't before. And they go about performing some of the greatest heists that have ever been seen. Turning invisible, charming people's minds, thieving different items. And then they get caught. They get beheaded. And the last thing you see is that neck, that blood wall coming off their neck, falling onto the dirt. And then you wake.
I assume that when I wake up, these 2 are just standing there like...
It's been enough time that if you guys wanted to go and find Isidore,
Yeah.
you may want to.
Yeah.
When you get upstairs,
Thorn, yeah.
the 2 of you see that Thorn has found a small part of a pedestal from somewhere and has stolen one of the wooden boxes and put it in front of the pedestal and is sitting very still in a meditative pose.
Oh my God.
People are kind of coming up and very confused, like considering, is this a new god? Am I not familiar with this one?
It is.
It's a holy monkey. Is it, like, do you recognize that as that holy deity? No, I just can't place it. I can't tell if it's familiar or not. And there's just a crowd of people that have gathered around and are like,
I wouldn't piss him off. He's got a sword.
trying to figure out this question of the century. Who put the box in front? That's really bold choice. I don't know. Is it too like bolsterous? I don't know. Everyone's a little too humble around here, so maybe we're just trying to mix it up. Anyway, there's
I
a
guess
lot
the great god Thornanas.
There's a lot of that talk going on as you guys come up the stairs.
I just see him and go, oh my god.
I would go up and I would put a gold in his box and say, like, pretend I was saying a short prayer. And then I would suddenly
God damn it.
stand up
I saw this happening.
and take my blindfold off and go, I can see! And I would go up to him, sir! Man! And I just like, it's a miracle!
You gotta give me a deception check. You gotta give me one here.
Oh man.
It's a group of scholars. I have to know.
15.
15. Alright. I'm gonna give a generic check to see. That's actually really close, but they still fail.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes are still cloudy, so I assume they're gonna
He
see.
can see! He can see!
Oh no, they believed me! Yes!
He can see! People start coming over and putting gold in the box and sitting down making prayers. And one of them will be like, what do you call this deity?
Oh, a mere mortal such as me is not fit to speak his divine name.
Oh, God of the unknown. We must know more. People start gathering around and praying. And now there's just like a whole semicircle of like 30 people that are like kneeled down and praying to Thorn. As soon as everyone's not looking at Thorn, it's just like... and then goes back to meditating.
People in this town are so gullible. We could have told them we were all divines.
Apparently. Just had to sit on a box.
I mean, the monkey does have a halo, to be fair.
It's true.
It's kind of obvious.
Oh. That's true. And wings.
And wings. At this point, Isidore, you stir and come to. And do get to witness this horrifying scene.
I'm not gonna lie. I would probably like get up and look over there and be like, Thorn?
He just gives a slow, very satisfied nod.
Oh, you silly creature.
Now that he realizes nobody's actually like watching, he's gonna go like mingle through and find like 2 pieces of metal that he has and start trying to pick the lock on this box of offerings.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Anyway, well that's happening.
Everybody's up there now.
Yep. And I'm just watching Thorn at this point. Just, you crafty devil.
Anybody else by Valactiquae's shrine is still sleeping, correct? Or did anybody else wake up?
I'll give it a chance.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
just continued to like run up to people and go, it's a miracle! The monkey is a miracle! And just until I get out of the temple, and then I just wait out in front for the rest of them to come out.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think we're getting the monkey back. I think he's found his calling.
So, Isidore, 2 members do wake up.
Yeah.
And they come to, they yawn, they stretch them. Oh, hey. What the fuck is going on over there? As they see a monkey just madly picking at a box. Okay, that's weird.
The gods don't need us to know all mysteries.
Oh, guess not. Oh, and they'll like notice your robes. Oh, hey,
Greetings.
how was your nap?
Lovely.
Good.
How was yours?
Very good. Oh. One of them will go back around and grab a kettle that's been stewing and pour out some tea. Go back. It's a nice strong black tea. One will hand to you.
Thank you.
I guess the day is... Well, it's almost time to sleep again. We should do something.
It has been quite a day.
Did you need any help with your prayers, or did everything go well?
No, everything went very well, I think.
Oh, good. Good.
Yes. Are there many followers down here?
No, there's a rotating group of like 10 of us or so. But we don't get out much. We just kind of hang around the shrine.
Are there any,
ordering on occasion.
Did you say out much or up much?
Both.
Are there any large temples down in this area? I'm from the far north.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've heard that there's one right on the edge of the Stormlands, actually. But I guess it was desecrated or something? I don't know. That's the rumor I hear. Again, I really haven't left. So I grew up in a small town just outside of here and found my calling, and Black Aquinas has kept me here since. So just doing the will.
I assume the tea
Doing
is
the will.
decaf so that everyone can sleep.
Oh no,
Does
these
it
guys
matter?
are trying to wake up. This is a strong black tea. They're like this is like the 3 hours a day they do something.
I need it. I'm still a little...
Yeah, work your buzz off.
Yeah. This is much needed. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have any other questions for these guys.
Alright.
Just want to say hello.
Hey little monkey, is that your box? Thorn goes back to picking. I'm not gonna worry about that. You know what? I think I need an afternoon nap. He's just gonna lay back down. I was having such a good dream.
People are slightly lazier than the ones in my temple. I will drop a couple of gold into the old collection box.
Okay. The one who's still awake, gives a nod. Appreciate it.
May she bless your dreams.
Yours as well.
Oh, I'll head out. I'm just leaving Thorn.
So Thorn, as you're walking out, if you're following, I don't know, Wrath, if you've
Oh,
been
yeah,
there
yeah.
watching or not, but Thorn can't.
We're all just abandoning
He
Thorn.
can't fucking get the box to open, so finally he just stops. The sword appears in his hand, and he starts fucking just beating on
I
it.
was waiting for that.
He can't get the damn box open though. And people in the crowd should be like, "What's going on?" And 3 people look up. Monkey?
With the sword.
With the sword. Thorn just books it. I'm starting to think that wasn't a god, guys. I didn't get any divine. Did you feel anything? Alright. So the horn flies back out. Wrath, I'm sure, slowly behind him, just...
Yeah. This monkey seemed to get me in trouble.
Outside the temple, across the street from where you are, actually, you can see a massive suit of armor scraping its way through what apparently is the bank, although it looks like a normal house, basically. And just literally cracks part of the door frame as it gets stuck. And just a low... part of the door frame slowly crumbles in, and it just tries to hold it up. Pulls out the scroll, flips through, rips a piece of paper out of it, and one of its fingers glows as it writes on it with this huge print on this tiny piece of paper.
Oh.
And in common, it is the worst scribbling of sorry that you could ever try to form. And it kind of shoves it into the crack, trying to get it to stick best it can. It keeps coming loose, and he finally just boom sticks it in. And has this chest of gold with him that he's making his way back towards the shop.
I will die for him.
I think that guy's got our gold.
Oh look, Brutus is done at the bank.
You can see there's now 3 or 4 bank people that have come out and they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? Scary? Yeah, you were super scary, dude. What? I don't need to know that. You should fix my door.
The R is backwards.
Damn it! Where did it? I don't know, man. Are you guys following Brutus back?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my favorite NPC ever.
He's so great.
He kind of like has to step around and over people, and people just don't know what to do with him. A lot of people just kind of freeze, and they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
Understandable.
He finally gets back to the shop, has to again. The door handle is very bent at this point. Pushes
If
it
we're
in.
near him, I would help.
I was gonna say the same thing like I would.
You come up.
He's got his hands full with the chest, so like,
Yeah.
we can help him with the
He keeps
door.
putting it down, picking
At
it
the
up.
very least, I'll like mage hand the handle open from as we're approaching, as he's reaching for it.
Make an Arcana check for me.
22.
Okay. So at first you go to open the door and the mage hand actually can't physically move it because it's more than 5 pounds of pressure that you need.
Oh, because it's all chained up from
Straight
him.
up from when he broke it. And then finally you like surge power towards it, like cracks the door open.
Do you know mending? Can we fix this?
Unfortunately, I don't. I was just checking that.
Oh, meanwhile, by the way, behind you, there's a couple of armored figures that are yelling, "Stop that monkey!" And he's flying over some building tops.
Oh my goodness.
Did he get the money?
Just want to clarify that. Oh, you know what? Did he succeed?
That was actually
No.
a question
I mean,
for Rad.
he probably
but
would just grab the box.
He tried to grab the box and it fell and shattered. And the coins went everywhere and he like stopped for a moment, had to decide, and then kept flying.
Oh my goodness.
The entire reason I did that was to get the money. Alright, Monkey and I are gonna have a talk.
Meanwhile, Brutus is trying to
You
shove
guys
his
running
way.
confidence games.
Oh, I was trying, but apparently the monkey's not very good at it.
Oh God, scam games with a monkey. I love this.
Listen, the opportunity
Oh, no.
presented itself.
Trying to
Oh,
god
no.
scam with him. We're gonna get kicked out of the zone.
That's fine.
We need to hurry up whatever we're
Okay.
doing right now.
Alright, so Brutus is trying to
Tell your
shove
monkey
his,
to
way,
stay away from us.
shove his way through the door again, and finally squeezes his way through. Oh, Brutus, how did it go? And Brutus kind of like hangs his head for a moment and just walks back to the room. Not well. Okay, I probably owe someone.
I believe he had some trouble with the door at the bank.
Ooh, yeah, that's a small one, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not exactly Brutus-sized around here.
It's, find Staff of Unseen Servant. And it'll go back over to the barrel. Oh, right. She'll go over, pull the staff out, and you'll see there's like multiple wood people kind of like carved out towards the top. And she'll take it and tap it on the ground and it'll just stay in place. And multiple presences start moving past your blind sense, like 6 invisible people just and out the door. And you guys do witness the door. And then close.
Why do you look so surprised? Oh God, the door.
Ah!
That'd be fine.
That's why.
So anyway,
Yes.
cool.
I'm familiar with
Yes.
that spell.
She'll go over, go to open it. Brutus, do you have the key? Brutus will open his hand and a crushed key will come. Never mind, dear. You're fine. You can keep that. And it'll just drop on the floor as the hand comes back. She just goes over.
I would
Taps on
burn
it
down
twice.
nations for Brutus.
I'm saying, like,
And suddenly there's a booming boom, boom that echoes across. There's a 300-foot radius of a loud banging, and then the chest. She stands over the chest, and you realize that it is filled with gold pieces. She pauses for a moment. Brutus, I told you to get platinum, right? And there's just some squeaky noises of the armor rubbing. Never mind, dear. That's fine. Okay. I'll be right back. And she goes over, digs through some scrolls, finds one, goes over to the gold, pulls out about 10,000 pieces of gold, bags it up, and you can see there's like, in your blind sense, I guess you would see this. There's a little like arcane counter that ticks as she starts pulling gold pieces next to her head, and then fills the bag, and it's almost like it's weighing what's in the bag. Takes it over. Brutus dear, he peeks his head over. I need you to take that back to the bank. He slides his way through again. Thank you. I need to get another staff of unseen servants that has more charges. Okay then. I don't want to take the time so you didn't see any of this. Okay, the spell is illegal in almost every city. So.
I saw nothing.
Exactly. And you did, which is good too. Okay. Which you will pull a scroll out, same thing, charge, and this time there's a bright glow of arcane that comes from her hands. Closes it, puts it back on her belt, puts a scroll case over it, holds her hands out, and there's a glow that overcomes the bag. She takes it, brings it over, and hands it to one of you. There you go.
It's like a massive bag.
It's a lot of coins. I mean, it's.
So what did she do?
Did you open the bag?
Well, I mean, I can guess, but like, magically, what did she do?
Make an Arcana check.
It's transmutation.
So we just got, what, 90,000
15?
in gold from her? Because she sent 10 to the bank?
She pulled out. No, she pulled out 10
Yeah.
and sent the rest of it back.
Oh, okay.
And she turned the 10 into platinum.
Okay.
But like,
Got it. Got it! She literally turned it into platinum.
Yep.
I thought it was just a money-changing spell to turn 10,000 gold into, or 100 gold into one. I'm with you now.
Yes.
I can see why that spell is
There's
illegal.
a reason why this spell is
Okay.
illegal. Yes.
I was like, it's just a money counting spell. Why the hell would you not wanna...
Nope. That's just her.
Gotcha.
That's her own spell up here.
Okay.
Yup. Nope.
Okay.
She just transmuted gold into platinum.
She just fucked the entire economy.
There's a
And I think that would be enough to make Book actually, like, turn his head and look at her.
Wraps, pendant,
yes.
blood well, whatever
Well,
the
yeah.
weird thing's called. Gauntlets?
No.
No.
No. I'm gonna pass on the gauntlets. Unfortunately.
Oh, so you're just gonna sit on your money like a
I'm
dragon.
just gonna sit on my money like a dragon
Okay.
for now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Maybe one of these little glass glowy orb things. What does this do anyway, other than just kinetic light?
Tell you what, you can keep that one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. They explode into a bright flash of light and last for about 12 seconds.
Flashbang.
Oh, yeah.
And then it sits.
Very
So,
nice.
it's great. Quick, light everything up, get the hell out. Alright, well, yeah, I don't really have many shipments in for armor right now, unfortunately.
That's okay.
If Brutus wasn't so sentimental, I'd sell him for the sword, but I love him dearly.
I can see why.
Was that an option?
No.
No. She just said.
As you guys,
She's too sentimental.
We'd be nice to him.
she gives like a pleasant handshake, or excuse me, they give a pleasant handshake and say, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. Thank you so much. I look forward to the next time. And you do notice that they make eye contact, like deliberately with you, and have no problems with you looking back at them.
I've been looking directly into this person.
I figured, so yeah, and they seem A-okay with that.
Okay. Temple, not so much. Here, as soon as I walked in, you.
And they were like, okay. And best of luck on whatever crazy adventures you're getting into. I'm sure you'll need it. Very good.
Okay, so I now have
And when you go over and
1,000 gold.
open the door, you'll notice that the door swings open pretty easily now. And hanging off the handle is Thorn. open, and he will climb up and around your back and like hang on your chainmail. 2 armored individuals. Chunk, 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 chunk. Did you see a monkey?
A monkey.
I can't see anything.
Do they have symbols on there?
No, they don't.
Oh.
Fine. And I will know.
Just turn around, look back at the shopkeep, be like, "You have a nice day."
Shopkeep just like. Are you selling him?
No.
Okay.
I wish.
I would buy that.
I'd buy that for $1.
Trade for Brutus.
Yeah, right.
That I can't do. Look, around the corner of the door that's not been open, leaning against it, there is a cloaked individual. There's some like half plate underneath. At their side, a metal-studded cudgel, and just leaning against his sharp features, a little bit of like a rough scruff to him, and has a self-rolled cigar or cigarette that he's smoking, and just gently puffing on, and just leaning there nonchalantly. But his body is, in your blind sense, he's rather tense for how relaxed he's trying to look.
Does anybody else see him?
If you guys exit the shop, you will,
Okay.
which I assume you're heading
If
out.
we exit the
So
shop.
I'm assuming you're heading out.
We just live here now.
You don't know that, so yeah, stepping on the streets. Immediately you notice him, and you guys kind of catch this like dark cloaked individual standing next to the shop.
Well, to the docks.
To the docks indeed.
And as soon as you like pass by with Thorn on your back, he's gonna very quickly reach for that cudgel and take a swing at the monkey.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive.
And just bam, smack into him, and Thorn just pop.
Nah.
What the hell was that?
Hey, you finally got the monkey off his back.
A barrel roll into a sword draw.
Calm yourself. I'm not worried about you. Is that your monkey?
What was what?
Does he have a symbol thing on his belt?
He does not. No.
Oh, well then yeah. Cool. Look directly at him. Shushing. Monkey.
Yeah, he was causing all sorts of trouble. He was hanging on your back.
He doesn't appear to be there now.
Alright. On your way then?
Interesting.
He'll lean back against the building.
I'm
And
just gonna keep
as you
going.
continue.
He's gonna slowly walk away from him, like keeping an eye on you.
I've realized that your tremor sense is like the perfect distance that someone would normally trail people at. So you do sense his footsteps pick up and start following you about 20 feet back.
And I would make my way over to Issa and, put my arm in their arm and
Yes, of course.
lean in and whisper, we've got a tail.
Oh, is it the gentleman in black?
Maybe?
Oh, I'm sorry, the guy that was with the monkey and the...
Yes, it's the same individual.
Gentleman in black. Everyone's
I'm
pretty
not
black.
sure I will get used to not speaking in colors.
I've seen colors once in my life, and there was a lot of other stuff going on at the time. Didn't really have a moment to be like, oh, orange, green, red, got it. It's like, yeah.
Now I know.
Do you guys continue your way to the docks then, or are you...
Were we going to stop at the tattoo shop and investigate the
Which is down by the
feline
docks.
gentleman
So
who was also inquiring about tattoos?
either way, we're heading that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you guys head that direction. The tail does continue to follow, and making your way down the street, you start to hear the sounds of the river. And just off to the side, working under a loosely hung canopy, Yes, is a interesting individual. Very sharp features, but his hair, let's see, would be this sort of light green color and look almost mossy in its texture, as it currently is. And coming off of his head on the sides are two trees, or tree branch-like, that come out and have green leaves on them that are slowly dropping.
Cool.
His veins are green in color. Eyes are this vibrant, bright yellow. Definitely elven. And he currently has a shimmering,
It took me a minute.
a shimmering golden needle that he is holding with two hands and very gently going into an individual that has what looks like some sort of gem layer on his arm that's been stuck to him. And he has this very cat-like long legs. This would easily tower at 8 feet when he stands, maybe taller. Cat-like person that was described before that seems to be having something very carefully tattooed into him.
I believe we found the gentleman.
I believe so.
There is a dock, or a line of dock technically, and a kind of harbor master house where you can hear a couple people drinking, and their windows are currently open and smoke is just pouring out.
Nice.
The cat-like individual every now and then gives a little shake or wince to the needle tab, but seems to be taking it pretty well.
Interesting.
I may go try to book passage north on the river.
Well, depending on what Wrath does, I would want to wait and see if the person tailing us follows
Okay.
who he chooses to follow, I guess.
Good question.
Like, does he stay and observe us?
He seems to stay and observe. If you and Wrath are staying behind, he'll stay and observe.
Okay. And I would tell Wrath, yeah, the person from before is keeping his distance and watching us.
Wrath, you catching a glimpse of him, perhaps.
Yeah, I kind of do a slight,
Look around a moment, and you see he has pulled
Hold
out a kind of hard leather cigarette case, flips one out, sticks it in his mouth, taps one of his rings, and a little bit of fire forms in his fingertips, and he lights it, taps the ring again, and it goes out. Leans back against the building. Just seems to keep an eye on the two of you. So another elf, that sharp elven features come to you. This particular elf is blue, with scales, gills, kind of frills for hair, and is currently sitting in a modified bathtub that sits next to a pile of books, and he is kept his arms out so they're dry enough to kind of flip through a few things, and every now and then his handles start to wet and he reaches over and puts it on a towel and then starts going through paperwork again. He does have a lit cigar that's been burnt out for some time now in an ashtray and is flipping through some papers. Where the hell did I put that?
Get me photos of Spider-Man, damn it!
Hey, what can I do for you?
Hello. I am inquiring about booking passage upriver.
Upriver? It's a little harder.
Myself and 2 companions.
2 companions, yourself. How far are you going?
As far as we can.
Alright, yeah.
Do you have a river map?
Shit, yeah, somewhere. Hang on.
It's not just pinned to the wall. This guy's a mess.
This guy is a mess.
He is kind of.
Yeah. He unravels a scroll that obviously has some water damage. That's like kind of faded and mixed with the inks. You can see the river line here. That's all we need.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the river line. It gets a little janky at some point. But... All right. How far are you going? You said you want to go all the way north. I mean, it's doable, but
I think that would take quite a bit of time.
Take some time. Take a lot of money. Plus, we have to have a ship that's ready for the cold.
This next large city up here, perhaps.
Yeah.
To get to that one.
Yanrak. How's your standing with dwarves?
I know a few.
Good. You'll be fine. Yeah, they're a bit pissy. No dark elves with you?
No.
Good. Because no way in the hells that you would be stopping there.
No. The three of us are all human.
Perfect. All right. They'll probably spit in your general direction, but it'll be fine. Might charge you more in the shops. Nothing abnormal for dwarves.
It's just a stop on our journey.
All right. Yeah. How you get? Are you continuing north? What's your plan here?
The plan is to get as north as we can. Yes.
All right. So.
Myself, I'm from the very far north. I'm trying to head back in that direction.
Where's the fire rock? One of the guys that are like sitting at the tables will look over, chuck a rock in his direction, which he'll grab, and a yellow rune will light up as a little bit of flame comes off it. He'll relight his cigar and set it down next to him, and then realize that it's on a pile of papers and take it and chuck it back. All right.
The whole building just goes up.
And this is the harbor master?
Yeah, apparently. All right. We're going to continue north. I would recommend renting or buying hippogriffs from the dwarves to go over the mountain.
Okay.
Or, I'm charging you extra for travel details, by the way. Or, you can take the river under and go through the mountain underneath, taking the underground rivers, and we can take you past. Walking, deadly, don't recommend it. A lot of shit on that mountain you don't want to deal with. As a matter of fact, flying comes with its own risk because there's a couple things up there that might want to gnaw on some hippogriffs.
Is the
You know
river
what I
the
mean.
safer way?
There's nothing safe about that mountain range. So, yeah, it's a scary mountain no matter what. Up top, you got giant owls and griffins. And they're generally pissed off at each other. And down below, you got a bunch of drow that want to fucking kill all the dwarves on the surface. So, take your pick.
None of those sound like good options.
Well, you can always go around and, deal with the extra 6 to 8 days it's going to take if the weather's good.
Okay, passage to Yonnerik versus Under the Mountains cost-wise.
To Yonnerik, since I didn't explain all the details, let's see, I'm running about 50 gold for the 3, yeah.
Okay.
Running up past that to the Underdark, that is just a flat 100 gold charge to get you through there because that shit sucks. And honestly, some people are probably going to die. If it's you, I'll refund. If not, I'm keeping it as collateral.
Okay.
And past that, let's see, if you go all the way north, I'm going to charge you probably another 100 gold. Deal with the cold weather, all that bullshit. If you want to stop before that, probably another 50.
Okay. Excellent. When would a boat be leaving for north?
Which one of you idiots wants to go through the Underdark? And all of the tables kind of turn. And one particular... again, the dice, I love it. One particular dark-skinned drow
Oh my god.
kind of looks up. What's the hazard pay? I got 100 gold coming. I get 20 of it. I'll take those odds. What do you think, boys? The table he's sitting at. Oh, that's all right. We worked it a little bit, yeah. We'll take it. All right. There's your crew. When do you want to leave?
If they're ready to go, then it's what you guys aren't here. It's like
Probably
mid-afternoon,
at this point.
early
Yeah.
afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Yep. mid-afternoon.
Should we risk staying in this town is my question. I'm thinking no.
I feel like we would have discussed that we were trying to leave today.
Yeah,
And
that's my
probably,
thought is that,
after dinner kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay. All right, lads.
This evening if possible.
You got a couple hours. Pack up, hit the water.
I guess however long it would take them to get the boat ready is when we want to leave.
Yeah, if you ask, you'd be like, well, you can be on the water in 10 minutes, but...
No.
A few hours will be fine.
There's a
Alright.
hustle fee.
Yeah,
He doesn't mention the hustle thing.
that's the hustle.
All right, so a ragtag crew, which I'm
Naturally.
gonna roll
Of
up
course.
here at some point. We'll start.
This time you can't
form-
reroll if one of them's a Kenku, though.
Yeah.
There we go.
If there's a Kenku on this boat, we're keeping it.
You mean it?
We gotta eat sometime, right?
I thought that's what the monkey was for.
All right,
That divine monkey meat.
Mouth-watering monkeys.
and I can roll for that later, but we do have a captain who's a drow. So back outside. Have you guys been waiting for Isidore, or are you approaching this interesting individual?
I assume we'd probably be waiting for him to finish
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was.
with the current.
I don't
You
want
know,
to distract from.
All right, yeah. So
he's an
Isidore-
artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's-
Isidore comes back out. Yep, you'll pay when your trip starts. So
Yeah.
no upfront fees yet.
Spoke to the harbor master.
Yeah.
He is a mess. Absolute mess. How he's running a business, I have no idea.
Oh.
Judgy.
Just as a reminder too, this is the nice side. This
I
is-
hate this town. This
Okay.
town is bad.
okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what's in the next one.
You know the river sort of goes under the mountain range north of here. The city south of it, it would cost 50 gold to get the three of us there, or we can go take the underground rivers under the mountain to the other side for another 100. So 150 will get us all the way north of the mountains. There is a boat willing to leave in a few hours. They're packing up and getting ready. I believe we pay when we set sail.
Is the guy who was following us still just hanging out doing his thing?
Yeah.
Smoking
I
against the
think
wall.
it's probably best that we do not stay
Oh,
another
yes.
night in this a night in this town.
I don't want to spend too much time here. This is a fascinating process to watch. I assume we're all just like standing like 10 feet away, just like staring
And you
at this
see
guy.
what's finally formed is a layer under the skin of what looks like a gem encrusted, you have a set of like emeralds that lead up to rubies to form this rose that's been put onto his arm. The last one in, takes the needle, rubs his hand across it, sets it down, rubs his hands across the skin, and it starts to close up around it. And it looks like this weird mesh of shimmering tattoo that now sits on his arm. The work is done. Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. And
Yeah, I want one.
the animal-like individual will look at it. They'll step out into the sun a little bit, and that tattoo will shimmer and brighten slightly and start to wave across his body. I feel it working. Nice job, Smith. Appreciate the work.
Solar-powered night vision. Yeah.
I'm just going to spoil it because it's easier. The Eladrin that's been working on it gives a nod.
It took me way too long to figure out what that guy was. I'm like, some sort of fae, and then you said he was an elf, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh.
Eladrin.
Kind of still some sort of fake.
You're welcome, and travel safe. Eternal Quillix guide you. And you. The Wayfinder God, God of Passage, the Guiding Light. He is a spectral wrapping of a cloak that comes to a kind of porcelain face that has a shallow jawline, comes to a kind of point chin, rises up to an open head with a floating light in the middle of it. There is a spectral hand that grabs a black wooden staff that comes up and curls, and in the other hand a golden loop with a lantern that hangs off of it. This particular god is known to have these wooden posts with holy symbols in them.
Would that have been one of the gods who was in the temple?
Yes. This individual now standing to his full 8-foot height. And you can see as he does stand, like certain parts of his leg and like joints and bones shift where he stands to his full height. And it looks like he can actually crouch down the way that his body shifts. If that gives you a hint of what race he is. And he will...
This is the guy who just got tattooed.
Yes. Yep. And he will look over
Noel
at
is
the
all I'm
three of
thinking,
you.
but I don't think that's correct.
He'll pause for a moment. Book, aren't you? Thank you so much for watching episode 6 of Fell Nightmares. I hope you enjoyed this wonderfully strange city with its odd people and its eccentric customs. I do look forward to seeing you next week, and until then, I hope that joy, peace, and kindness are with you. And until then, stay epic, my friend!